Much louder. Good morning.
Good morning.
Parang mga iba hindi pa siya breakfast with them. That's fine. Anyway, my name is Albert Tumalad. I'm a business development manager coming from iSentia. iSentia is the leading media intelligence company in the Asia Pacific. We're currently servicing almost 5,000 clients, and we're present not only in Asia Pacific, but also we do provide content worldwide. And first and foremost, before we actually start with the full workshop proper, I would just like to especially mention the CRPD team, specifically Sir Toti, Ms. Fram, Sir Rudy, for choosing iSentia for today's media intelligence partner, and at the same time for Dr. Burgos for actually gracing us in today's event, for actually choosing iSentia as your media intelligence partner for your second social media engagement. And at the same time for us gathering here, coming from different regions, I know na lahat po tayo has a lot of different tasks, especially that we are involved in the media hemisphere, which actually takes a lot of work. But for these guys, I know that we have put such a hard work in putting us all here. But for that, let's give them a round of applause. Thank you so much. But first of all, I'd just like to discuss what is our objective for today. I know everyone, you all came from the phase 1 of the social media engagement. You have learned how to do marketing, to do posting, how to do edit, all of the technical stuff. But at the same time, what is social media engagement? What brings us here? So, if you're asking for that same question, like myself as well, you can actually compare it to like if you're adding a friend to Facebook. So for example, before we actually had meetings to actually formulate our today's workshop and also all of the materials and collaterals. Specifically, one of them is with Ms. Fram. She has been like a strong force for us to actually bring us in here. So we had 2 meetings, we shared same laughters, we talk about a lot of things, about our family or so on and so forth. And then one day, when I check my Facebook account, walang traveling. Nakita ko notification. A girl with naka-half shoulder, and it was Ms. Fram, added me on Facebook. As any one of you guys have been friends with Ms. Fram, raise your hands. Parang konti mga friends mo dito, Ms. Fram. Ayan. But of course, Ms. Fram. Actually for that, when I saw na si Ms. Fram added me on Facebook, my first reaction is actually I panic. You know why I panic? Because I don't know if we have the same interest. The way that I post on Facebook, the way that I interest in fashion, so on and so forth. But 2 things came up in my mind. 2 words specifically. The first word is the word engage. The reason why she added me is because she got engaged with me. From those 2 meetings, she got interested on what I do, on my personal beliefs, on everything that everything that involves me. Aside from what I provide her related to my work, she got interested and she wants to be engaged more. That's number 1. And number 2 is the word social. When we say social media, a lot of us think like, why do I need to be on Facebook? Bakit kailangan mo ng Instagram? What is an hashtag? Why do I need Pinterest? Why do I need to be active on LinkedIn? So on and so forth. A lot of us get tied up dun sa technical aspect. But we tend to forget the word social. What is social? That's basically a community. The reason why I believe Ms. Fram added me, and hopefully hindi niya ako yan friend, is because she wants me to be part of her community. Right? So like let's say if someone added you on Facebook, like that one that you don't know, definitely, you'll second guess, saan ko ba nakilala ko? Where did I, parang, do we have something in common? Can she be part of my community? And when Ms. Fram added me, automatically I confirmed her. Definitely we're right now Facebook friends. So with that in mind, given our concept right now with social media engagement, means to say that our main objective here is to actually establish a strong social media community to engage people in science and technology. Right, so that's our main goal for today. And for that, without further ado, let's just have some message of enlightenment coming from some of the DOST-STI executives. So our first speaker today will be has a progressive work in multinational corporate organizations, and at the same time in large governmental organizations or agencies such as DOST, Philippine Council for Agriculture, Aquatic and Natural Resources Research and Development, and at the International Crops Research Institute for the Semi-Arid Province in Hyderabad, India. And he came on board last March 2006. So let's give a round of applause to the Executive Director of DOST-STII, Director Richard Burgos.
Thank you. And the Essential team. Good morning to the STI team as well as the other members of the DOST family, some of whom I am made to believe had to travel far from home. Alright? So, this is an exciting event for me, and I hope you are as excited as I am. Now, our speaker mentioned the word what. But today, I'd like us to think deeper into the topic, because most of the what we have covered in the first segment of our two-part series, right? I'd like to introduce a speaker to you. But if you cannot afford food or drinks, bring something else. Bring something that you can afford. For example, an interesting topic for table conversation. Okay? A joke, if you can master the delivery of a humorous speech, you know? So, nobody is too rich that he cannot accept anything, nor too poor that he cannot give anything. So I think that's a great lesson coming from Father's Day, and this inspires me to share something else with you, and that's why I thought of sharing a famous, I think very popular, inspirational writer and motivational speaker. His name is Simon Sinek, right? Simon Sinek wrote some very interesting books, in a policy framework for social media for DOST. We have to go beyond the what, to respond to the how. Everybody? Pag wala kang kapares, solo mo. Kawawa naman. Hindi, solo mo is a marketer's terminology for social, local, and mobile. These are three platforms that we should not forget anymore. In fact, these are three platforms that we should use to engage our audiences, right? And to further spread the culture of science and technology. We cannot not use these platforms anymore due to their popularity, due to their common usage, all right? Unless we want to be like relegated to the corner of the irrelevant. Okay? So there is a lot at stake that we're going to him. 4 minutes of your time.
Social media and our adolescence thing, if it gets you down. But that's basically what's happening. That's basically what's happening, right? That's basically what happened. You have an entire generation that has access to an addictive, numbing chemical called dopamine through social media and cell phones as they're going through the high stress of adolescence. Why is this important? Almost every alcoholic discovered alcohol when they were teenagers. When we're very, very young, the only approval we need is the approval of our parents. And as we go through adolescence, we make this transition where we now need the approval of our peers. Very frustrating for our parents, very important for us. It allows us to acculturate outside of our immediate families into the broader tribe, right? It's a highly, highly stressful and anxious period of our lives, and we're supposed to learn to rely on our friends. Some people, quite by accident, discover alcohol and numbing effects of dopamine to help them cope with the stresses and anxieties of adolescence. Unfortunately, that becomes hardwired in their brains, and for the rest of their lives, when they suffer significant stress, they will not turn to a person, they will turn to the bottle. Social stress, financial stress, career stress. That's pretty much the primary reasons why an alcoholic drinks, right? What's happening is because we're allowing unfettered access to these dopamine-producing devices and media, basically it's becoming hardwired, and what we're seeing is as they grow older, too many kids don't know how to form deep, meaningful relationships. Their words, not mine. They will admit that many of their friendships are superficial. They will admit that their friends, that they don't count on their friends, they don't rely on their friends, they have fun with their friends, but they also know that their friends will cancel on them as something better comes along. Deep, meaningful relationships are not there because they've never practiced the skill set, and worse, they don't have the coping mechanisms to deal with stress. So when significant stress starts to show up in their lives, they're not turning to a person, they're turning to a device, they're turning to social media, they're turning to these things which offer temporary relief. We know, the science is clear, we know that people who spend more time on Facebook suffer higher rates of depression than people who spend less time on Facebook, right? These things balance. Alcohol is not bad, too much alcohol is bad. Gambling is fun, too much gambling is dangerous, right? There's nothing
in our body, a hormone, that makes it addictive for us to get things done. And what is that chemical?
Dopamine.
Huh? Dopamine. Dopamine. Okay. So para kang doped talaga, di ba? Dopamine nga yun eh, di ba? So, insight lang yun, to the behavior of people today on social media. One of the first things that people asked me when I came on board last year was, should we allow people to go on social media? Kasi before, parang 1 hour lang ang pwede gumamit ng social media. Only during the lunch break. Okay, so 8 hours in the office, or 9 hours, more or less, 1 hour lang ang pwede sa social media. People are accountable for the deliverables that they have committed to deliver. Diba? And that's why, and then we're working very closely with HR today to make our HR processes more competency-based. Okay? Kasi kung hindi mo kaya, huwag na lang dito. Diba? If you hindi yan NAMIDG, ha? Galing nyo. So, numbing. So that's one effect that social media may have on people. Okay? Manhid na sila. Wala na silang...
Dr. Richard Burns. But at the same time, sir, what I can say in behalf of the Essential team is we're up to the challenge in breaking the barriers. And that's why we are here. And we're almost excited to present to you all of the data and the results that we have for today. Not only the data, but for us to increase or to strategize further on how are you going to be optimizing your social media assets. Okay, but second of that, let's now proceed with the activity rationale coming from the Chief of the Communication Resource and Production Division of STII. Well, this advocacy is on communicating S&T to the grassroots by helping them understand the importance of science and technology on socioeconomic development and on livelihood activities for the marginalized, as reflected on his contribution and participation within the organization. Definitely some of these notable contributions were as an executive editor of S&T Post, editor of Balitang Rapid DOST, project leader of PCHRD-funded project on the usage of oil trap to fight the dreaded dengue mosquitoes at barangay level, and at the same time as a program leader of the Changing the Mindset program composed of the Science.ph and IAC projects. So without further ado, I would like to give you Dr. Aristotel Carandang.
Thank you very much for that. I don't know where you got the introduction. But thank you very much anyway. That's Albert from iSanjet. And of course, he's joined by Wingster. Where are you? It's missing. Oh, Shell and Aces. Oh, hi. I thought you were down, no? Thanks to the flu who visited you. Okay. So, my role is to, inform you of what we're going to do, although you already know that. But perhaps the best part here is for us to be reminded of what happened in the past year, a little over a year since we started, no? And we have this a little Well, let's go down the memory lane. Thanks to CRPD, especially to Fram, for providing me with this. And it's out. Yeah, you know, while they're attending to the technical problem, I'm happy to see people, friends from the north down to the south. You know, FYI sa mga taga Manila po, we are joined by some friends from the regions. Mula pa doon sa CAR, no? Sa CAR in Region 1. Yung taga CAR, taga ano yan, La Trinidad, no? Benguet. Dumating, nagbiyahe, no? Para dumating. At saka yung, of course, taga Cagayan de Oro. Ang lone representative from the Mindanao area. Baka napigilan sila walang ID. No, they cannot go out of the place without the ID. Do you know that? Because it's martial law. Don't worry. I'll bring you there tomorrow. Papunta po kami bukas doon. So, what happened? No? In 2016, some of you were, well, some of you have joined us. Sino po yung kasama dito noong 2016? Ayan, there are like a handful. No? Maganda yan. Kasi in our letter, we requested your offices to send those who attended before, no? But prior to that, there were like some meetings, no? It started as early as April with a different service provider, and some of you have already met the group from Puzzle L. No, they were the first we engaged for this, no? So, nakasunod natin po ngayon yung essential. So, they were able to help us identify some things. Is it being fixed? Well, I just have to wait until tomorrow morning. Ayan. So, it all started as early as the second quarter, I think it was April of 2016, when we started engaging people. Because we already, yeah, I was correct, April, no? So we had a review and analysis of the current DOST social media practices. That's with the help already of the Puzzle Out group. And then we had our social media engagement seminar workshop in June. No? Almost the same period. 1 year ago. Sino po yung naka-attend dyan? Isa, dalawa lang. And of course, STII people. That time I was not around. Because when you were opening the show, I was aboard an airplane to go to the
Orlando.
Yeah, where the massacre happened. No, the very purpose of going there was to visit the bar, Paul's Bar. No, it's a joke. We attended the Ala where Starbucks, well, the year after received an award. No? Then they helped us in July set up the DOST-Philippines Facebook account. No, a month after we were able to set up this account, which until now actually is still a big problem, as mentioned by Director Burgos a while ago, because this is supposed to be for the central office, that something that harmonizes everything. But it's there, it's functioning, but it's still with STII. So, and then we were able to boost some of the offices, no, in the FB pages, the regional offices, including some projects that included Project NOAA, which is already somewhere out there over the rainbow. One store, DOS TV, one expert. And then this group recommended some things for us to do. And some of this included the following. Please. Okay. So this came out. Facebook and Twitter accounts of DOST agencies and regional offices were checked. Some had both FB and Twitter. Some only had FB. Some only had Twitter. Some did not have FB or Twitter, nor Twitter. Some had DOST before their agency names. Some had DOST after agency names. Some had DOST in caps. Some had DOST in small letters. Totally different, all of these Facebook accounts, no? So dito na rin pumapasok yung ating initiative on branding. Aside from the social media engagement, pinapasok na rin po natin ngayon sa branding so that everybody is going to have one look, no? Isa yung itsura natin wherever you go, even if you go to Tagaytay or you go to Batanes. When you check the provincial offices, then you will see same color, same, at least not, medyo magkakahawig tayo. Hindi ba mukhang magkakaaway? Next please. So this is just a sample of the monitoring. Comments on the cover page. So ayan po, may binilugan doon. Okay? Ano ba yung binilugan mong yan, Fran? 100% response rate. Okay? So nakikita na ngayon, it has now become somehow interactive. Next, please. So, the partner then created and boosted actually, this page for DOST and turned it over to STI and supposed to be turned over, to the DOST, but still it's with STII, and I think we should be able to do something about that later on, with your help. Next, please. So, sample insights. Ito, natutunan nyo na naman ito. Tsaka, I don't think it's difficult to understand yung analytics mismo, pinoprovide ng FB, no? Madali naman siyang intindihan. Hindi naman siya rocket science talaga na nosebleed. Just look at it and then read. If you don't understand it for the first time, read again, read again, read again. And then, on the 10th time, hindi pa rin, ask somebody's help. Next, please. Okay. During that seminar, the STI team conducted a mini survey. Tinignan lang naman nila yung itong mga sumusunod. The social media accounts used by agencies, the social platform they are comfortable with for their agencies, and the usual postings in the social media sites. Ito po yung nag-gather nila. And then somehow, I hope this was relayed to you. Next, please. So, sa STII po, nag-convene kami ng aming social media team. Actually, the STI management, through a special order signed by Director Burgos, created a social media team for STII. Kasi po, hindi naman po kakayanin niya ng isang tao lang o small group within CRPD in our division, because we're also small. So, sabi nga, for the institute or for your respective offices or agencies, dapat may team din siguro. This is what we do. So, create social media plan for STI alone. This actually harmonizes all STI administered FB accounts. Today we have like, how many accounts? 8? 10. 10. No? May hinahandle kaming 10 accounts. And then we assign focal persons for monitoring of USC agencies and offices, FB, and other social media accounts, facilitate sharing links, and for the traffic also. And monitoring all actually started. For example, for the NSPW, we have Mauro and Rudy. No? These two guys are monitoring the NSPW page. And Mr. Alan Taula. Mr. Alan Taula is with them. So the three stooges are actually working together for this, no? So ganoon lang po, may mga grupo-grupo kaming inassign kasi po, hindi naman talaga, sabi nga Director Burgos kanina, hindi bang pwede nyo na lang gagawin mo unless ayun talaga lang ang trabaho mo. And I heard in some offices, they do that. They really assign people to handle social media accounts. They do nothing but become addict, no? They enjoy dopamine. And there was another, and I didn't notice, there was another, what do you call this? Ano bang tawag sa kanila? Na nakakainganyo sa paggamit. Kanina, addictive yung dopamine. Diba? Hormone. May isang binanggit doon na kagaya ng pagkain, kagaya ng sex. Diba? Meron tayong mga good ed. No? Ano bang tawag doon? Sino mga science major dito? No? Meron doon yung the good hormone. Happy hormone? Ha? The endorphin. Alam na alam talaga ni Lola mo, no? Alam ni Lola, taga-PNRI yan. She's the youngest in the group, I suppose. Of course, no? Si Miss Tina Cerbolius, she's very active and the one who handling almost everything ng information ng PNRI. Sabi niya, tumatumbling na siya, bukod pa sa pagpipiruwet. Okay, so our monitoring started in 2016, but I know the monitoring is not that complete. And hanggang doon lang sa level na kaya namin. Next, please. And I think, so these are the STI managed social and media accounts. Makita niyo po, ang dami, di ba? Di ba dyan ako ang administrador pero parang pangal by name lang. Nakikisali lang ako doon, no? Next, please. Okay. Some time ago, was it in September? December of last year, Mauro actually represented STII to attend the one organized by the OSC 11. And they were able to do this and come up with the draft guidelines. Okay? So I think you'll be given a copy so that we can improve on that. Next, please. And then, so for this engagement, we hope to do all these things. Check if all agreements and learnings in previous engagements have been put into practice. Meron kayo na bago sa mga pinagagawa ninyo? Meron daw tumatango ang Region 1. No? Check performances of selected FB accounts. So, by random siguro, sir, mamimili tayo, no? Random ito, walang favoritism. And learn how to improve social media engagement with audience through best practices in industry and government and other techniques. And generate input to social media guidelines and policy because I promised Director Burgos in one of our meetings that we will be able to finish the social media guidelines for the DOST system by December. Yun yung final, no? I hope approved na rin siya ng management. But for this, if we'll be able to, okay, kasi nagtatalo-talo kami sa office, Essentia ba ito? Or Isentia? Okay. So at least, na-pronounce ko correctly, ayun man lamang tumama ako. Tumama ba ako sa mga pangalan ninyo? Of course. Of course. But we're not yet friends, no?
On Facebook.
Yeah, not yet. So please invite me also. Okay, so, hindi ko na po papakabaan because we're running late and I hope this would be a very, very fruitful day for all of us and I hope that we will be able to realize the objectives by 5 p.m. Tama na ako? Hanggang 5 lang. So, good morning, thank you very much and good luck to all of us.
Thank you so much, Dr. Totti. Specifically, later po, I'll make sure that I'll add you on Facebook. Hopefully, confirm niyo po ako that I'll be part of your community. Okay? But before that, before we proceed with the workshop proper, before we actually feed you with more information on how are we going to do social media engagement, so on and so forth, I would just like to actually ask everyone to actually post anything on your personal pages. Since we do have an official hashtag Science Goes Social 2.0, and since we are doing more of like social media engagement activity, it's better if you guys will be actually engaged on your own Facebook pages, right? Okay, so you have to make sure that you actually hashtag the post Science Goes Social 2.0, and at the same time make sure that it's a public post. Because before we end the program, we do have a special token for the one who has the most like or have the most engagement or specifically the most like. I actually asked Miss Beth, the one that they will give, the one who has the most like is a full course meal at the DOST-STII canteen. Pwede ba siyang dinner for two? Candlelight. At claim nyo lang po yung prize kay Ms. Beth. And we will announce the winner before we end the program. But before that, let's start now with the program proper. And I believe with the word social media, a lot of people got confused. It's always on Facebook and at the same time on Twitter, so on and so forth. But we tend to forget the concept of media. What's behind media? What is media intelligence? And for us to give more details or an introduction to media intelligence is actually a friend of mine. He have been with the PR and advertising industry for almost 20 years, for over 20 years, servicing multinational clients and at the same time, large government agencies. He has a bachelor degree and a master's degree in the De La Salle University. And he's not only a great boss, a great friend, but a loving father and a husband. Let's give a round of applause to Isentia's Business Director, Mr. Wingster Sahagon.
Hello, sorry. Yung voice ko medyo, may sakit kasi ako eh. So, gusto ko sana magtakip, pero, naiintindihan naman ako. Do you guys, can you, kasi talaga I have a flu. Last Saturday, I played in a band. So, last Saturday, we had a gig in Paranaque. Then after, naulan din ako. Then, hanggang ngayon. Nahiya. Ako meron pa rin, pero hindi na siya gumagana. Diba? Do you see how the technology, diba, nag-change the landscape of marketing and advertising and PR as a whole? Diba? Before you guys had Friendster. Some of the guys here maybe has MySpace. Diba? Why? Because of the fact that yung preferred language, communication, nung panahon na yun, that was the in thing. Meaning to say, yun yung nagka-trend. Diba? So, yun yung ginagamit ng lahat. Naintindihan ba ako? Para ako speak matching eh. Sorry ha, medyo words. So anyways, paano ba ito eh? So, that's my name. Pag-usapan natin sa galing yung pangalan ko. It came from a drug. Baliw yung tatay ko. My dad's a doctor. The name of the drug is Wintrix. I believe it came from a sedative for those people na may ganon. So it's Wintrix, ginambo niya naging Wingster. So, yeah, something like that. Anyways, well, okay. I'm gonna tell you social media and media analysis. I-combine ko siya. Paano gumawa ng PR for starters? Paano gumawa ng social media for starters? Kasi alam nyo na siya, ipapaalala ko lang. Kasi may Facebook kayo, alam ko kung paano nyo alagaan ang inyong Facebook. So I'm gonna tell you a story using, of course, Facebook. Alright? So, and the word selfie, which is actually the most trending word 2013, 2012. Okay? Selfie. Sino mahilig mag-selfie? Na lahat ng gawin niya may selfie. Nag-gym, nag-selfie. Kumain, nag-selfie. Sinama yung mukha. Sino? Ilan dito yun? Siguro hindi na siya ganun kauso ngayon. But still, there's a question. Okay? The question is, ilan dito sa inyo ang nagsusuklay bago magpakuha ng litrato gamit ang cellphone? Ilan? Yung sabi, group shot, teka. Diba? Teka, sabi, gusto ba ayos? Sino dito yung magre-retouch? Teka, wait. Retouch ang lola. Diba? Sino dito yung magpupusod? Diba? Sino dito yung talagang nagbihis pa? Nasa bahay lang naman. Diba? Bakit? Simple. Ito ba? Ito yung mga common. These are the words na pag nakita mo sa Facebook mo, naiiras ka. Naiirita. Friends, this is PR. This is corporate communications in the simplest form. How? Pagtingin mo sa litrato, tinag ka ng friend mo na nakakainis na klase mo ng high school, sabi mo, grabe, tinag niya ako dito, ang taba ko dito. Diba? Ang lapad ng mukha ko, di na ako nagkasya dun sa screen. Diba? Mukha akong mataba sa suot ko. Nakakaitim yung kulay ng suot ko, Pilipina ka naman. Natural lang sa atin ang ganun kulay. Grabe ang eye bags ko, dapat konting angat pa pala ako. Diba may angulo yan? Mayroong ganun at kung ano yung gusto mong ipakita. Yun yung gusto mong makita ng tao. Diba? Like the Facebook, the social media assets that you have. Gusto nyo mukhang guwapo at maganda si DOST. Wala siyang pinagkaiba sa sarili mong Facebook. Okay? So, we want others, other people to see the way we see ourselves. Diba? Yung Facebook mo, kasi ang tingin mo sa sarili mo, guwapo ka. Sabi mo diba? Sabi mo, ganda ka. Ganda ka. Establishes rapport. Diba? So, social media, there's a thing called following. Fan base. Diba? So it creates following. May loyalty. Pag maganda yung pinapakita mo, laging like. Kasi mind you, my friends, social media, ang tinuro sa inyo, hindi mag-respond, mag-react. Diba? It's a bad thing and it's a good thing. Pero dun tayo sa good thing. Why? Paliwanag ko. Before a corporate communications person, a marketing guy has to have intelligence, diba? Analytics, in order for you to respond. Your Facebook is not teaching you to respond, it's teaching you to react. Why? Because of those tiny icons that you see there, angry face, like sign, so automatic yun. So isipin mo kung may nakakitang antaban, nakalusli yung tiyan mo dun sa isang picture, lahat yun. Kung may 1,000 friends ka, na nag-like nun, kitang-kita yung tiyan mo. Diba? Hindi mo na itago dun sa bag mo na Fenty. Diba? Hindi mo na itago. So, it teaches us to happy conception, parang hindi na nagpalit ng mga rule, mga kining-idol pa rin, unfriend. Diba? Kasi ayaw mo. Diba? So anyways, ang importante po, itong papakita ko towards a story. Tulad na sinasabi ko kanina, isipin nyo, imagine nyo, nakita-kita kayong mga high school friends nyo. Okay? Ay? Okay. Okay. So anyways, nakita-kita kayo ng high school friends nyo. Diba? Hindi yung boses ko. Well anyway, nung pinakita yung litrato, na-post yung hindi mo pinili. Kitang-kitang tumaba ka. Diba? Tumaba ka talaga, bongga parang ako. Diba? Sumobra yung taba. So sabi niya sa sarili mo, nagalit ka sa friend mo? Nagkaroon kayo, mind you this is as the same as corporate communication. That's the reaction. Pinost ka, hindi maganda yung PR sa'yo. Diba? Ang taba mo dun Diba? So, sabi mo ganyan, pare, ba't mo naman pinost? Kasi too late na hero. Nandiyan na pala yan. Sorry. Ayun nga. But for you, you look fat. So, sabi mo, I look fat. No, I look fat in that dress. I look fat in pink. Diba? Pwede rin, I look good. Diba? I look good in dress. I look good in pink. ROI ka. Diba? Pero pag sinabi mo na yung damit na yun, pangit sa'yo, lugi na. Hindi na ako magsusuot ng pink. My friends, that is. Alam mo na, nakita mo sa litrato, hindi bagay sa akin ang pink Dahil natuto ka, nakita mo, hindi mo nagagawin. The same sa corporate communications. The same in marketing. You learn from it. Diba? You analyze it. The problem here is this. The same scenario. Sinira yung litrato mo na mataba ka, majuba. Yung friend mo na yun, may 1,000 friends. Yun ang kanyang reach. Yun ang network. Yun ang circulation at yun ang viewer. So meaning to say, nung tinag ka, lahat yun, nakita ka. So, out of his friends, out of his 1,000 friends, chinik mo, here's analysis. Tatlo lang ron ang common friends niyo. Diba? Sabi ko, ay nako, buti na lang, tatlo lang yung magkakaibigan ko na makakita yan. Kahit 1,000 yun, tatlo lang ang makakita nun. Tatlo lang ang makakapag-react. Tatlo lang ang magsasabing mataba ako. Diba? But here's the dilemma, my friends. Diba? Pag sinabi mong tatlo lang yun, yun ang sinasabi mong target market mo. That's your target audience. Kasi yun lang ang nakaka-relate sa'yo. Kasi yung nakakita, yun yung mahalaga. Kung titignan nyo mabuti, the same sa corporate communications, the same sa marketing. Tatlo nga lang ang nagsukat sa inyo. Pero yung isa doon, pinaniniwalaan ng buong bayan. Nagigets niya? It's as the same as your Facebook account. So, ang malapit doon yung sa tatatatong yun, may isa kang friend, sabi sa'yo, Bes, ang taba mo na. Diba, napasama pa. Sabi mo ganyan. Sabi ko, diba naman to, lalo pang na-amplify. May comment. So ngayon, dahil may comment na, kailangan mo ng action. Diba? Nagkaroon na ng isang critical na pangyayari. Diba? Medyo na, may makakita na, sabi, taba ko na. So, and that person was your high school best friend. You tried to analyze it. You guys got history. And you were called palito back in the days. Payag ka nung araw. Diba? So, this is responding. This is the process on how you respond. Diba? Totoo na. Yung pagkakita sa iyo ng mataba ka, it became, diba, na mukhang negative, kinonvert mo siya into something positive na napaangat niya yung level mo. Imbis na sabihin na, oo nga, tama ako, blah, blah, blah. Pero hindi, oo nga, mataba na ako. Hashtag pera. Pwede kayo ilagay mo ganyan eh. Depende kung ano gusto mong ilagay. That will make you look good. Diba? The perception is actually you to be looking good. So, social media analysis, before you create any strategy, the reason why we're here, not because we're going to train you. Sabi namin, eto, kailangan nyo gawin to. Mag-isip kayo ng magandang content, mag-isip kayo ng, I'm going to tell you, if we're gonna do that, we're all going to fail. It's not a rebel approach or guerrilla approach. What we wanted, kasi nandyan na siya eh. You know it already. You know your target market. If we're going to do that, we might fail. So we're here to help you strategize. We're going to strategize with you. We're going to say, hey, wait. Bago tayo umabante, tignan muna natin. That's the reason why we're going to monitor. We created the monitoring and analytics for you. So, if we do that, we can capitalize on the real issue. We create lalabas agad-agad. Panigurado meron kayong mga albums na ikaw lang ang nakakakita. Because you don't wanna spill everything. Bahala yan. Diba? Kaya lalo na pag may TBT ka, throwback Thursdays. Diba? And of course, we respond, not react. That's the word. That's always. Kahit ang ginagawa sa atin ng social media, we react. Always react. Nakalagay ng reactions eh, di ba? In creating content, it's our response. So, that's it for me. I hope you guys may nakuha kayo content. The next one that we're next natin. So, for the next ilang hours, please bear with us. We will be having analytics, no? All the assets that you guys have. We will show you saan nanggagaling, saan papunta. Diba? Bakit? It's the why. Diba? And then later on, habang hapon, It's the how. Baby steps. So yan gagawin. And then, lagyan natin ng metrics, lagyan natin ng goal. Hindi pwedeng, gusto lang namin sumikat kami. Hindi. Gusto namin, sa araw na to, sabihin natin, May 2018, meron kami 10,000 followers. Active. Dapat yan. It has to be measurable. So anyways, that's it for me. Marami pong salamat.
Baka nag-install na ng mga app to actually edit yung mga pictures nyo. Baka mamaya, maangulo na ng mga faces. But at the same time, that's very enlightening to relate how we do Facebook personally, and also on how we can apply it into our corporate social media accounts. But let's forget to give you more information on how was the standing of DOST Facebook pages, specific DOST Facebook pages. How did it fare in social media? I would like to introduce you one of the driving force of my Cynthia's Insights team. Well, she currently is having her doctorate at the University of the Philippines. And at the same time, one of her notable work is recently one of the research that she did.
Please also bear with me. It's bedroom voice in any other way. But the next hour or so, we will present to you what we found out for the past. Actually, we're supposed to just present May, but we'll give you January to May data so that you have a full, full landscape view of your performance and how we've actually measured everything. So you will be, we will present data, numbers, metrics, and the like. In any event, I'm a bit fast, or if you have questions, what this is about showing you the cream of the crop so far for 2017. We'll show you later on as well. Why are they the ones that we featured? Because they must have done something right for 2017. Alright? So, we are Cynthia, as Wink said. We give data, we give analysis, we give insights, the royal treatment. We ensure that we source this out from the most important channels. And for your overview and listening architecture, this is the top 10 DOST Facebook pages that we've monitored based on the total number of fans by the end of the covered period. So if you see your Facebook page logo, or if you're part of the affiliate, it means you're going to have your results for today. Alright, so let's do this. So why the top 10? Why them? What did they do right? Just so we are in the same page, baka nagsasalita ako ng mga terms na medyo foreign, these are the main indicators of this report. First, Facebook fans growth. Why is this important? Because this is your reach. This is your audience. Kahit mag-post ka pa ng sandamakmak, kung 3 lang ang follower and fans mo, and your engagement will also come from those 3 alone. So this is the most important indicator. This is your objective. You're supposed to have an increasing fan base. Your audience is the general. Baka hindi kayo finalo. The thing is, if they don't follow you, they won't see you. You have lower reach. So that's it. 2 indicators. 1, you must have more followers to increase your reach in order to have higher engagement. So magtataka ka, bakit 1 million ang engagement? Baka naman 1 million din kasi yung followers. So 1:1 lang siya. That's why your post is also important. This is initiated activity. This is coming from your end. You may have 1,000 total engagement. Pero as I said earlier, 1,000 din pala yung post mo. So ibig sabihin, 1:1 lang siya. But to optimize it, why not have 10 posts only, but 100,000 total engagement? If you average that, you have your average interaction per post. So those are the things that you need to have as main indicators. Again, if I may repeat, fans. Why? Because it's your reach. Second, total engagement. The more engagement, the more other people will be able to reach you. Kapag nilike mo naman, minsan nakikita na iba mong friends na nilike mo siya, di ba? So your friend might as well just like the page that you actually like. course, initiated activity. I'm sorry. Pero again, that's not just that. Just because you have the most engagement doesn't necessarily mean you have optimized your work. So, total engagement, like, shares, comments, divide mo yun sa initiated activity mo. This is your target. Every single post must be optimized. Your target initially, some of the industry practices here, is just the right amount of post, but the higher engagement. Kasi kung 100,000 ang post, tapos 1,000 din ang engagement, 1:1 lang siya. Your target should be, I must be there by the next workshop. Okay? I must be there. So these are your top 10. You may argue your way, ay meron mas mataas. But this top 10 is also based on activity. Baka kasi wala ka ng activity by January, kahit marami pa yung fans mo, you have already become stagnant. So this is also in terms of activity and fan base. So a round of applause naman dun sa top 10 na nakapasok dun sa so good job guys. Next indicator, total engagement. Of course, if you have the higher fans, the expectation should be you have higher engagement. But we did not have the same ranking. If you look at fans growth, if we switch to total engagement, nag-iba na siya. Right? So the challenge is, if you have higher reach, again, you must have higher engagement. Kasi mas marami kang fans. That should be expected from your performance. If you have lower engagement ranking from your fan base, then you must do something moving forward. But let's see at your average interaction per post. This is the ranking. Pisay has the highest average interaction per post because from January to May, 7 lang naman yung unahan ko na. Siya yung optimized so far. Yeah. Let's go to your checklist. Sino yung nag-follow dun sa phase 1 nyo? So far, SEII lang yung may community rules. Why is the community rules important? It gives your audience the direction. How is the dynamic in your Facebook page? Hindi naman kasi siya pwedeng complaints page. Baka dapat comments page siya. The thing is, response rate could be another indicator for your page if it is used as a customer service platform. From my Sentia, we can also measure that if you're keen on the response rate. Siguro phase 3, sir, or phase 4 nyo, if very optimized na, you need to measure response rate. Especially if, in any event, may admin na talaga na dedicated to the page. But, yeah, these, in the top 10, ito yung mga nag-reply within 24 hours. The X, ibig sabihin nag-reply, pero hindi within 24 hours. The neutral post, no replies talaga dun sa questions. Alright? So far, so good? Okay? Okay ba? So this is one good type of response and engagement. Actually, dalawa sila yung top 2 that we've seen that are very active in making responses. Tapos, inaayos pa yung tone of response. Kung English, English yung reply. Kung Tagalog, Tagalog yung reply. Very good. So, this is PCAARRD, card. Hi, sir. Very, very cordial. You know, in Facebook, you can't just reply with a link, with a post. People will become your advocates, not just your influencers, if you treat them as if you really serve them. Public service na kasi yung equation ng response ng isang public government, na public or government sector na Facebook page. Feeling nila na-address yung mga kailangan nila, in a way, they become an advocate. Yung target natin ngayon hindi na influencer eh. That's social media phase 1. You have influencers. Now, we need to turn our influencers to advocates. Someone who will really rally for your agency. Like for example, Mr. X here. Sinagot ako nung ganitong agency. They reply. So, everybody else will probably ask and expect the same kind of response from your end. So, for these two, okay to. This is good practice. Replying within 24 hours, replying in a cordial manner, replying in the same language used by your fans. Your fans are actually the general public, so hindi siya necessarily targeted na. So that's a good thing. Reply. If you cannot reply within 24 hours, we suggest from my side to do scheduled responses. Hindi naman kasi pwedeng 24 hours ka lang nakabantay kung sino yung magre-reply, especially if sobrang dami ng comments. Scheduled responses. Every Monday, reply. Every Monday, 12 noon. Or every day, 12 noon. Scheduled responses is the key, actually, in terms of engagement. Alright? So far, so good? May natutunan naman kayo so far. Alright. So, indicators. This is just numbers. Data. This is your total fans performance. The number of posts. This is from January to May 2017. Your total comments. Reactions. Ibig sabihin, like, shares, comments, haha, wow, angry, etc. Alright? Average interaction per post. Na-explain ko na earlier. It means total interactions over total posts. While your engagement rate may have a different term. Iba-iba yung definitions ng engagement rate. But for this specific exercise, engagement rate is total interaction divided by your total fans. Alright? So if you'll see, the ones highlighted in blue are your top performers for every indicator. Next slide. This is the breakdown of your reactions. Why are we showing you this? Not all engagement is the same in tone. An angry is equivalent to a negative or unfavorable tone. Okay, fine, I have 100,000 total engagement, pero 50,000 pala nun angry. That is already a red flag. In terms of tone, iba siya from a love, from a like, from a haha, or a wow, or a cry. That's why it's also important to break down the kind of reactions you're getting. Like for example, for Pag-asa, that's the most number of engagements, but it also has the most number of angry reactions. So in terms of tone naman, positive or negative, you have to look at the breakdown of the reactions that you're getting. Isang click lang yan, but it already tells you the sentiment of your audience. Alright? There. So parami siyang love, marami nga siyang haha eh. And sometimes the haha and the wow are gray areas. You don't know kung pinagtatawanan ka, or natutuwa siya sa'yo, or wow, grabe ka, or wow, tanga ka, or something like that. So, these are gray areas. But you need to listen to them. You need to monitor them. Baka ang ganda-ganda ng infographic, tapos lahat, ha-ha-ha. Baka hindi mo na, natutuwa ba sila, or pinagtatawanan ng pangit ng graphics and what. So, you need to break down your reactions. Okay? Let's go on a per agency basis. I won't go deep dive, but I'll show you the numbers. I'm sure you know what you did well and what you did not do so well. Okay? Start with Pag-asa. This is your performance. January to May. You have high engagement, you have high number of posts, but if you look at the average interaction per post, you optimized your activity in January. In May, sobrang daming posts, but you only had 44 average interaction per post. So, kahit impressive yung post, but if you look at the average interaction, it's not as optimized compared to January. You must have done something good in January, that's why it's optimized. So, as I said earlier, what is the kind of post that works for Pag-asa? It has links, it has photos, there's a mere status, and a video. These all work for it. Kasi, konti lang yung post per engagement. More than 100% yung na-rate niya. Okay? So this is good. So what's the main key takeaway here? Variety in post type. Hindi siya pwedeng video lang lahat. Hindi siya pwedeng status lang lahat. There must be variety. You give your audience something new. Sometimes infographic, sometimes pinagsasalita, or sometimes just a post, a picture. It works. It's more interactive compared to static photos. Okay? If you look at the dominant themes, like to moderate ratings, affecting portions, but if you look at the fans and comments, you're supposed to, the best thing to look at fans and comments themes here are positive terms. So if you don't see them yet, you need to work on them. Like to moderate ratings, 2 hours, affecting portions, pero yung dito sa POSA, ibig sabihin wala pa siyang masyadong content. But you already mentioned Pag-asa. That's already recall. That's already branding. Ulan, rains. They're talking about your posts. Because comments kasi to eh. Comments. These are your posts, these are your comments. So when do your post activity is on every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Dun siya pinakamalakas. Yung reception ng tao is also Wednesday, 5 p.m. Ibig sabihin, they're into you. When you post, they react right away. This is just what these two are saying. Alright? In terms of you have an event, meron silang video, alright? And it's May 25. These are your top 3 most engaged posts. There are no videos, there are no photos, but there are updates. You see the difference in your audience. If kanina with Pag-asa, nakikita mo gusto nila ng video. With Freevox, they're just interested with updates, and links to the website or to any shared content that you have. So you're here, ganun din, magnitude, those are your initiated activity, and your fans' comments, ramdam, safe, which means they're already talking about you. That's a good thing. Hindi lang siya dito sa, lang po sa, if you have that, that's almost telling you nothing. But the fact that they're talking about ramdam, safe, Cavite, they're talking about your content. So your optimized post activity is Wednesday, 11 p.m., but your audience is talking about you the next day pa, on the same time, Thursday, 11 p.m. Alright? Next, for PCHRD, it's your most optimized activity is on February, while photos are working on your favor. It's May 2 that you must have done something right for you to peak in terms of engagement. And these are your top 3. So you see, iba na naman. Mas gusto niya yung ganitong klaseng photos or infographic or even shared content from news agencies. So you have share, health, mga lang, please, yeah, you need to work on it. Halos wala kang makitang term related to the agency yet. Your target is always for the PC. If the activity shifts, then we'll see in the next monitoring. But this is telling you, it's giving you a hint. Kailan ka merong activity? Alright? For PCAR, it's konti lang, not as high in terms of numbers as the previous ones, but its most optimized activity is on April. And links and photos are working on your favor. Alright? Yung notes mo, konti lang, 4 lang, pero konti lang din yung engagement niya. And you must have done something right on May 16. But look at the type of posts that you have. Photos. Photos with pictures, or with an album type. Yeah. So, you talk of your initiated activity contains your terms, pero wala pa din masyadong terms related to you in terms of comments. Monday 6 p.m. is your peak in terms of activity, but in terms of comments, it's Monday 7 p.m., which is a good thing. Kasi ibig sabihin, nag-react sila right away to your post. Alright? So your target is always kung kailan ka ng post, halos dun din sila dapat mag-comment. Kasi kung nagde-delay pa, ibig sabihin hindi ka nila na-reach, hindi mo na-optimize yung activity mo. Baka may post ka ng next, hindi na naman makikita. Alright? So your target always be that the post and the comments activity will, alright? You would rather have 10 posts with 10,000 engagement than 10 posts with 10 engagement as well. So hindi lang siya para, or 100 posts with 10,000 engagement. Pareho lang ng engagement numbers, but the posts will differentiate the average interaction. Alright? So these are your top 3. So most likely, congratulate sila kay Sir, kaya siya highest in terms of total engagement. So you have shared content, you have an album, and a congratulatory remark for Dr. Alexander. Kaya yung fans and comments, lahat, congrats, sir. Okay? Ang dami niyang regional, science and technology, but in terms of comments, napakarami congrats, sir, which shows in the results. So, it's a good thing for your boss. At least, nag-reflect siya sa activity, nakadagdag ang congratulatory mark kay sir.
Marami ka magkaanak.
Yes. Yon. Wednesday 11 p.m. pero yung activity ng netizens Thursday 4 p.m. pa. STII. Okay. Your most optimized activity is in March. Photos and videos are working in your favor. Before pala para maintindihan, yung post is inside, total number of posts, and yung sa labas, engagement. So your target should be smaller colors inside, but bigger colors outside. That's where you'll see that your performance is optimized. On the comments. Ibig sabihin, your content is resonated in the comment section. Monday 11 p.m. is your most optimized post activity, but your audience is only commenting Wednesday pa, 3 p.m. pa. So why not post on Wednesday, 3 p.m.? DOST-TV must have done something right in January. I'm not sure if this is the launch, sir. I'm not particularly sure. But it has the lowest postings of the highest engagement. And videos. Of course, DOST, it's a TV platform. But even if the non-videos like photos are actually working on your favor. Which means people are engaged. It's only probably the reason why it's in a lower rank is konti pa lang yung fans. Alright? So don't be dismayed na bakit kami konti lang. Kasi nga yung fans, your fan base, that must be your number one objective. The higher your fan base, the higher possibility of total engagement you will have. Okay? So, good job on the DOST TV for the videos. Kasi kung mas marami pang likes yung photos and links, that must be alarming that your videos are not working. Okay? So it's a good thing. And you must be doing something right on May 27. Tatlo lang yung post, but you have the highest peak in terms of engagement. And these are your top 3 most engaged posts. Of course, they're all videos. But so okay pa? Please bear with me. Okay pa yung results so far? Nadadigest naman? Okay. So for this one, it's March, which has the most optimized activity, and photos are actually working on your favor. A general rule that videos are the in thing might work for some, but not for all. In this instance, photos are doing well. Probably because marami ka ding photos na pinost. But usually the case is, pag may video, kahit isa lang, kakainin niya na yung engagement share. But the good thing here is, balance lang. Balance lang. And then you must have done something right on May 8. Kasi tatlo lang yung post, pero look at the engagement. 1,000 plus. These are your top 3. Okay, so calling, program, but yeah, your comments are also good in a way kasi training is there, students are there, because your top post is actually tell them to join the team. So they engage na sila doon. They're talking about you. Your activity on Mondays, 10 a.m., but your audience is responding the next day, 10 p.m. pa. Beside, again, 7 posts in a span of 5 months. Not as optimized as it should be, considering na ang dami ng fans. This should be leveraged. The fact that you're in the top 10 in terms of fan base, you need to leverage on it. Take advantage of the reach. Yung iba nga na hindi napasok sa top 10, may activity eh. Ikaw ang dami mong fans, hindi mo pa ma-leverage. So hopefully, more posts to reach more engagement. Kasi look at me, 2 posts lang, pero the engagement is 1,000 plus. So probably increase in posting is one action point for PSI system. Okay? Look at the engagement, 2, 1, but ang taas. So the average interaction, of course, would result to higher. Alright? And it's all just photos. Probably more variety and content would even further boost the engagement, considering ang taas nga ng fan base niya. And May 11, the 1 post. And since it has only 2 posts in May, these are the ones that are working for them. Working for their benefit. So if you notice, wala siyang initiated activity. Kasi yung 2 posts niya nung May, yung isa shinare niya lang, wala pang caption. So yung nag-iisa dun, hindi naman siya pwedeng theme. So wala. So the target always be that your theme, your messaging, your thematic posting will appear in your initiated activity and in the comments. Okay? So yung post activity niya, hindi namin ma-determine kung ano yung peak kasi dalawa lang for me. But look at the activity in terms of Friday 8 p.m. Doon ang pinakamataas. Kahit dalawa lang yung posts niya for that period. And the last, FNRI, your May. Baka nalaman ng FNRI na mag-monitor ng May. Kaya no, just kidding. Pero sobrang okay yung performance niya ng May. Compared mo sa March, wherein you almost have the same number of posts, 28 and 29, but in May it's 4,000, in March it's 1,000. Ibig sabihin na leverage niya or na-optimize niya yung activity niya nung May. And photos, of course, it's working in its favor because there's more photos. Alright? And May 16. So these are the top 3 posts for FNRI. Good body brown rice. It's activity on Friday 10 a.m., Wednesday 5 p.m., siguro the following day or within the time on nag-optimize. Again, before we proceed to the key takeaways of this exercise, we've already finished the 10, always make sure that your initiated activity contains your themes, your messaging, and your target must always be that yun din ang pinag-uusapan. So if you have a hashtag, kunwari, DOST-STII, that must be also reflected in your fans and comments. In terms, they are in the 10 because their activity is optimized. Probably with an exception to Pisay, kasi 7 lang siya. Alright? And lastly, the key takeaways among all monitored Facebook pages, si Fivox, second lang siya across all indicators. But it has the most optimized social media performance. Okay? Alright? So what can we do moving forward for the 10? Not just the 10, the ones that are not in the 10, the target must be next workshop, dapat nandiyan na ako sa 10. Okay? Okay pa? Okay. So 1, navigate the tone and dynamics of the Facebook page through initiating the community rules. Community rules. 2nd, what else can you do? Engage with your fans' content by considering scheduled responses. Kasi you cannot reply within 24 hours naman. To queries, complaints, and even compliments. Don't just reply kapag may tanong or may nagreklamo. If they say, good job, DOSD, say thank you. Because the way, when you respond to compliments, you turn these influencers into advocates. Okay? And then lastly, take a cue from the top performing Facebook pages. A variety in content types, and then leverage on calibrated messaging. What do we mean by calibrated messaging? Use a hashtag. Use a term na paulit-ulit mong gagamitin for you to increase brand review. Do now. You have the action points, you have the key takeaways, you analyze past content to improve posts. 2nd, you switch up content formats and deliver consistently. Hindi pwedeng photos lang. Know your audience. That's why you need to analyze your past content. And thirdly, create a social media channel plan. Why? I know you've been doing this, but this is just Facebook. Twitter, Instagram are other platforms you could consider moving forward. That's why moving forward, do you need to put all on Facebook? Baka yung updates dapat nasa Twitter lang. Because if your Twitter and Facebook and Instagram have the same content altogether, bakit pa sila pupunta sa Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter mo? Kung pare-pareho lang naman makuha nilang data. So moving forward, perhaps a calibration of what to post on Facebook should be different on what to post on Twitter. And perhaps if ever magka-Instagram. Alright? So study your social media channels. Alright? So these are just the notes to consider. Perhaps on the strat plan later in the afternoon, content is king. Content. Consistently publishing great content creates authority And it opens opportunities actually to build a glowing backlink profile. Kaya nga diba, thematic buckets and messaging. See that in your content. Second, know and grow your audience. Pag besides students kasi yung most likely aspiring students yung target and parents. So know your audience. Sa FNR, baka gym buffs, health buffs, you'll never really know. But grow your audience. Why? Because we'll always go back to the 4 indicators. Kung konti lang yung fans, konti lang din yung engagement, konti lang din yung average interaction per post. And lastly, I mentioned this earlier, this is an all-encompassing formula in terms of content and audience. Entertain your audience. Entertain also means to inform. It has to have emotions. That's why you need to respond to compliments. You need to respond to complaints. Alright? That's why you have a good science of hugot hashtag. Kasi you want to target emotions. Because why? Entertainment plus emotions is a sure shot formula to engagement. Alright? So thank you very much. Let's have a 5-minute break before I proceed to the social media industry practice. Hope you learned something from your results for 2017. You can drink or go to the CR first because I'll show you later on social media industry practice from the 3 industries that we have actually studied, and we will share with you what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong na moment. So far, you have any questions? Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Pero okay naman? Hindi naman information overload? Alright. 5 minutes lang, and then we'll go to social media industry practice. Thank you. Thank you very much. while waiting for everyone to settle, okay? I'll proceed with the social media industry practice. I'll show you 3 industries that we've been doing with Icentia with clients across these 3 industries. We'll show you the top 3 things that they're doing right, and the top 3 things that are probably their lowlights in terms of their industry. And what can DOST take from these practices? Okay? So I'll have 3 industries: insurance, retail, and entertainment. Okay? We have clients from these industries, and they're competitive, so we have data across all. Okay? Just a snippet, we'll show you the keyhole, a sneak at the keyhole of what they're doing right, and what is not working on their favor. Okay? Let's start. Retail industry. Have an idea kung ano yung mga favorite retail brands or malls? I'm sure you've been to malls. What's your favorite mall? Ayala Mall. Yeah. SM, Ayala, Robinsons, Mega World, whatever. Yep. Star Mall. Oh, your sister, Star Mall. Glorieta, yes. So these retail industries or retail companies are actually very dedicated in their Facebook pages. Very dedicated. To say the least, they're very data hungry. They're channeling their advertising budget to social because their target audience is there. So these are their top 3 highlights. They target their audience. They have very dedicated digital marketing teams. Yung sabi ni Sir Tony, yun lang at yun lang ang buhay nila 24/7. And it's not just 24/7, 3 a.m. to imagine Icentia. Hello, we exactly. You know what I mean? And then they have very curated content. Let's start with audience targeting. Audience targeting, to a certain degree that they segment their posts to 3 target audiences: family, millennials, and the general public. Very, very targeted. Siguro phase 10 na to compared to DOST or even other industries. Very, very targeted. Links to clicks to play, 10 video views, a daily basis. And then you have general public. Pag general public, usually announcements, may bagong mall na nagbukas, etc. Even that is curated. Even 3-day sale is curated. So very, very targeted. It's working on their favor. To say the least. Kasi pag may contest, moms ang nag-reply. Pag may contest na pang millennial o OTD, lahat yan mag-reply. So very, very targeted. Next, digital marketing teams. Yun at yun lang yung buong buhay nila, 24/7. To see the fun, after 2 minutes, nag-viral na ba yung video? After 3 minutes, ilan na yung nag-comment, ilan na yung nag-like. That's why the reactions breakdown is important because they want to see the tone. Kahit 1,000 yung reactions, kung 500 doon angry, they have to scrap it out. So that's why they're very, very keen on that. And of course, curated content. To the point that the apostrophe should be not too dark, should not be too ganito. The video must have 10-second version, apart from the lengthy ones. Very, very curated. Yung Instagram photo, pag tinignan mo yung Instagram feed, dapat maganda pa rin than just the individual photo. The Instagram has a different posting compared to the Facebook, compared to their Twitter. Because the reason is, bakit mapupunta yung audience nila or fans nila dun sa platform kung magkakapare-pareho lang. So dapat iba-iba. They even have Snapchat. Alright? But what are their lowlights? They have too many campaigns. Sa isang post, tagtad ng hashtag. Blah, 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 blah. Maka 13 to 10 hashtags. Kasi, they want to inject their messaging to their audience. And sometimes, yung audience, hindi naman nare-retain lahat. Meron ng Father's Day, on the same day, meron pang summer sale, kids, chorla. At meron pang isa pang family, happy mom, tad-tad na tad-tad ng campaigns. Then the netizen, ako, I won't retain all that. I'll just probably look at the picture and retain just one. And we keep on telling them not to have too many hashtags, not to have too many campaigns. Give your audience also a time, like what the DOST is targeting. If you have complaints, direct that to the proper channel. Talk to it privately. Hindi mo siya papansinin altogether kasi magbe-build up lang yun. What's actually happening is magko-comment lang yung magkakapare-pareho ng sentimiento. And it's already a red flag to crisis communication. Again, too many campaigns. But it's not the only content that you should post out there. And this one. A netizen that is complaining, you could turn that complaint into an advocate. I've been repeating that ever since. Turn your fans into advocates. Somebody will rally for your brand or for DOST. Right? Insurance. These are the highlights of the insurance industry. They don't hard sell. We're talking about digital, not your face-to-face agent na bili ka na, no, may offer, no. We're talking about digital, the social media engagement. They're not hard selling. They're telling you that these are their products. They're telling you that this is their campaign. They're telling you that this is their advocacy, but they're not hard selling. If you look at some of their videos or their viral videos, it just tells you that you need a companion for the rest of your life, but not directly telling you insurance is the answer to everything. Right? Product-centric and financial advocacy. Again, they're not hard selling. They don't say, I love sales. Of course they love sales. But in terms of their communication strategy, their messaging, their thematic approach, it's not about buying per se. And they're product-centric. What do I mean by that? They tell you that they have this specific offering, and they tell you who are the persons na qualified lang for that specific product offering. For example, let me name drop, Manulife Move. It's for the gym buffs. It's for those who are interested in health. Because the more walks or whatsoever you have lower premium to pay. So it's targeted. It's product-centric. It already tells you, sino yung pwede dito. Alright? Hindi siya yung parang, ito, bilhin nyo to right now, right here, right now. And next, their advocacy is actually financial education. It's their CSR. And they give free talks and the like. People always like something free or something to get out of just getting their policies. So they tell you what to do. They tell you how much you should pay. They tell you how to save, not just to buy insurance. Again, it goes back to they're not hard selling. So it's a good practice in terms of their content in the digital sphere. But what? Their celebrity is bigger than their brand. Insurance is still an expense rather than an investment as an impression of people, right? And then sometimes they don't know where to target their potential investors. The celebrity is bigger than the brand. In terms of volume, in terms of buzz, not necessarily insurance. Wala ka na kayo, babayad ka pa ng insurance. So that is something that they must address. And they're not addressing it yet directly. Okay? And they don't know how, not really don't know is the operative term. The operative term is they're not maximizing where their target investors are. In our industry index that I said has performed, women are the highest, the target investors of this industry. Women are women ang nag-handle ng money. Single women pay for insurance for their parents. Married women handle the money of the families. And they're not talking on Facebook. They're not talking on Twitter. They're in forums. Very old school. And we've been telling our clients that they're informed. But there has to be a balance between the artist and the show, at least for this industry. So there again, proper channels, crisis creation and communication, and that the love teams are sometimes bigger than the show conversations. So why is it that social media importance? Why are we doing this exercise? But Sir Tony earlier said, why? We need to address the why. Why do we need to monitor? Why do we need social media listening? And why is it that private and government sectors should listen to conversations in social media? Why? Because without data, you're just another person with an opinion. Kasi uso ang millennials ngayon, di ba sir? Sinabi mo kanina. Uso millennials ngayon, so dapat millennial din yung post. Yun pala hindi mo na-understand na may audience kang kailangan aralin. So without data, without social media listening or monitoring, it's just your opinion. Right? And what works for, let's say STII, doesn't necessarily will work for Pag-asa. Alright? So why? Complaints. Because after complaints, you also need to listen to compliments. That's why you need social media monitoring and listening. Because they're equivalent of the online testimonials. Sir, I'm sure if you tell your friends, ay, ang ganda ng brand na to, your friends will also say, I will try that, right? In food, in particular. In the same manner, what I've been saying earlier, that compliments, you need to respond to them because you will turn your netizens to advocates. And they become your spokespersons to their other fans. Thank you, DOST, for replying. They will tag their fans. You already engaged 2 to 3 people that will like your fan page. Alright? So, respond to compliments. Just because nagbigay siya ng good job, di mo siya papansinin. In the same manner that somebody said a bad job, yun yung i-address mo. Compliments validate the quality of customer or public service. Express need. Hindi naman lahat compliment or complaint lang. People have an express need. For example, they want to apply for a scholarship, let's say for PSI. That's their need, and that they're going to put it out there. And you are the proper channel to address that. So in such cases, you actually reach out with an offer of assistance. Alright? Again, understand your audience. Know your audience. Always know your audience. If your audience likes photos, put more photos. If your audience likes videos, put more videos. Don't just put photos and share without captions. Kasi alam mo naman palang for the past 6 months, yun lang ginagawa mo, walang nagla-like. Diba? Share ka lang ng share ng share. So bakit walang nagla-like? Kasi hindi naman siya personalized eh. Right? Hindi siya customized. So understand your audience. Kasi baka gusto ng audience mo may konting landi, may konting kiliti. Right? And then influencers. Look out for netizens who speak favorably about and for you, and turn them into advocates. Opportunity to crisis communication up in the running. So before the crisis is to happen, when you are monitoring on social media, when you are listening to your fans, you can already preempt it by listening what is going on, and you can rectify it before it blows up and blows out of proportion. That is why we need social media, especially for the government, which at the end of the day, what we just have to offer, you guys have to offer, is public service, right? So before I end my entire session, na napakahaba na, I would like to say that the Philippine social media landscape is actually moving towards a very exciting phase. Technology, DOST, is demanding a shift in methods for your players, for your netizens, for your audience. And it calls for more agile approaches. Do you agree? So given these trends, what has become even more important is creating a service-centric culture, especially for DOST. Down to your external communications. So don't forget